Okay, give me a second. Give me a second. Okay. Jesus. Hello, everybody.
Well, there went the professionals
I mean,
going on.
you know, there's professional intros, and then there's no intro at all. There you go, everybody. We started. No
There
music,
we go.
nothing.
Okay.
Nothing. All right. Thanks for joining us, everybody. We did have a nice intro there. If you want to listen to the nice intro that we just did, then you're gonna have to download the episode on Friday. Okay, everybody.
There you go.
Because we're not
See
gonna do
what
that
you
yet.
missed.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. Well, thanks for joining us, everybody. Hit that like button if you haven't done that yet. And I'm just gonna make sure no music's playing in the background. God damn. God damn. Yeah. So there we go. And we are playing. We have pressed record, haven't we, Monkey? We've got that.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
all
yeah.
done? Okay.
We're good, man.
Okay. Okay. God damn. But there we go. Yeah, we're live now on YouTube, everybody. We did not do the intro live there because I didn't realize we wasn't live until March was like, "Are we live on YouTube right now?" It's like, let me check. No, we're not. There we go. Gosh. So what we
So
saying?
professional, man. So
Yeah.
professional, dude.
Indeed. So we're here for the Grow Guides today. We're going to be talking about different YouTube channels and podcasts that you should check out. And this is episode 98 of the Grow Guides, which means there's 97 other Grow Guides out there, which are about an hour long each. Lots of content for you to check out if you haven't heard any of our episodes before. So make sure you go and check those out if you haven't done that yet. But yeah, here we are. People know who we are. We don't need to introduce ourselves again, do we? No. We did that.
We already did that. Yeah, we did that already.
We did that already. Just everybody on YouTube didn't hear it.
That's their
Well,
problem.
But they know who we are. They know who
That's
we are
great.
by now. Gosh. So yeah, we just did the cannabis news. It's difficult to try an intro with the, you know, it's like we've already done intro an hour ago. And I was like, "Hey, you been doing, March? Hey, you asked me an hour ago how I've been doing. It's been the same fucking answers I gave you an hour ago. You know."
Right.
I'm never giving you
That's
that
true.
answer. Come on now.
You know, gosh. Just reading the chat there. Yeah, so what we smoking on? Let's do that. Let's do what we're smoking on. No, I think I've got the forgotten strawberries again. I always forget what I've got because it's forgotten strawberries.
Yeah,
What
I
did you
haven't
say you
changed-
have, Monkey?
This is Gruber Hans, Chad Westport's strain.
Oh, right.
One
Nice,
of his two. Yeah.
How are you getting on with that one? Is it a recent harvest?
It was my last harvest. It's been in jars now for about 6 weeks. So it's just where I like it to start. Yeah. Pretty strong
Nice.
stuff though, man. Can't take too much of it.
Man, I found a random tangent, everybody. A nice drink, man. This what's it called? Pepsi Max. And I don't usually drink Pepsi because you can, like, it gives you that filmy aspartame film in your mouth. You know what I mean? It's-
Okay. Not really, but
yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
I'll take
a
your word for it.
Yeah, I'm a strange person, man. This is how I am. I'm just particular about things. But,
one thing that I learned after I started traveling is that all sodas taste different in different countries. So, you know, I have no idea what your Pepsi Max tastes like.
but this one's a Pepsi
Wow.
Max Mango.
Well,
Oh,
It's like, yeah, it's quite delicious, man. I do like it.
so you switched from wine to Pepsi Max.
Oh no, still got the wine
Ooh.
here. Still got the
Oh.
wine. I'm gonna take it easy on the
No.
wine. If I drink that bottle of wine, that god damn. Yeah,
No one said a bottle.
yeah, it was like 3/4 of a bottle. I'm about halfway through 3/4 of a bottle. It's a strong wine too. What you got?
You know,
13%. Jesus. Yeah.
You laugh now. I'd say that at the end of the bottle.
Yeah. Let's see if I can get to the end of the show and the bottle at the same time. Let's have some fun.
oh boy.
Yeah, I'm not really going to do that. That would be irresponsible of me. I'd be missing the intro and everything. You know?
Like we just did, you mean? Oh.
What are you talking about? No, it was completely fine. All right, so I think we're ready then, really. We can just move on to the Grow Guides and start talking about some cannabis content creators, I think. Are we ready?
Do it.
Yeah, might as well. Let's do it. Right, yeah, so before we go on, I thought we could add there as well. There's loads of grow guides over on percysgrowroom.com, our cannabis growers forum. And there's loads of people who can help you there as well. But it's not just a forum. There's loads of guides. There's like over 100 guides on loads of different aspects of growing cannabis over there as well. And they're reasonably well written, if I do say so myself, who writes them. but they're pretty good, man. They're pretty good, and they break things down real simple. I'll go through it, and if there's any long words and shit, then I change them. I'll make it as simple as possible to read, easy to follow, full of loads of good information. So go and check out those articles as well if you need any help with learning how to grow. But that will be the first recommended place, I suppose. No,
Yeah, and they have a whole group of people over there who, if you don't understand the articles, they'll explain them to you. So it's a great place to start.
Yeah, man. So get over to Percy's Grow Room. That's and we also have a YouTube channel with like 10K subscribers with some videos on, but I've got like 250,000 views on it and shit. But we don't do much with that channel, but it's there. It's got resources on it if you want to go check it out. But definitely go over to Percy's Grow Room, our forum, and get involved over there, especially if you're a new grower as well. It's very supportive over there. So definitely check that out.
Yeah, if you're an established grower and you're just looking for a new home and you want to help out a few people, man, we love those people out there. You know, if you're willing to help out a new grower and want to meet some like-minded people, we're over there.
Yeah, man. And then we have lots. Sorry, Mark. Of course. How could we forget? It's absolutely free to everybody who listens to High on Homegrown. If you just go over to the website, we will know from cookies. You know that you would listen to the show before, and you just get let in for free. You just waive the fee. You won't even know about it.
Yeah. And if you don't have cookies, don't worry. Jack Herrera will work, or Northern Lights, or anything.
Some hash is always good. Yeah, definitely get over to Percy's. But there's also so many YouTube channels and podcasts that create cannabis content now. Even though it's difficult to create on these networks, being cannabis content creators, because cannabis is a flagged word on YouTube. So it's difficult to create the content, but people still go out and do it because we enjoy it. We make cannabis content. We enjoy doing it regardless of the hurdles that are in front of us all the time. But there's lots of good channels out there as well. And obviously the first one I want to bring up is Growcast with our friend Jordan River. This guy's been podcasting for nearly a decade. He's a decade now, right, Monkey? Can you remember?
It's been a long time. That was my first podcast as far as learning to grow. It's where I landed first because I want to learn how to grow cannabis, and it's so-called Growcast. So just seemed normal. But yeah, I stayed with Jordan for a couple of years before finding a little bit more of a detailed place to learn. But it's a great start, good information to get you to whet your appetite.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and he has a YouTube channel as well, so you can listen to his episodes over on any of the main podcasting networks, or you can find his YouTube channel as well. If you just search for Growcast, then
did he start out on YouTube or did he start out as a podcast?
No, I think he started out as a podcast.
Right.
Yeah, he did.
Damn, such a long time ago as well. Damn. Because
Yeah,
when
10
I
years,
first
long
started
time.
growing, I was listening to Jordan's show.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I used to listen to Free Weed from Danny Danko as well. Remember that one? Free
He's
Weed?
been around
Because he
for a
does
long
Grow
time.
Bud Yourself now, Danny Danko does, doesn't he? He's got a
Yeah.
different one. He used to have Free Weed. That was a good podcast back in the day, Free Weed.
Does Jordan record his podcast live?
Yeah, for members, I think, of his Patreon and things like that.
Yeah, he
Right.
does some Discord type things that he does live with his membership over on Discord.
Yeah.
He calls it Growcast TV.
Okay, because TG's supposed to be on that on Tuesday, I think, but I wasn't sure if it was being recorded live or not.
He's been on, I think he's been on Growcast before. He might be going back, but I'm not really sure. But I think he has been on it before.
Yeah, I don't know, but I know he's on Tuesday.
Cool.
Yeah.
Sweet, man. Just hit my Reaper there. Just hit the Reaper. So yeah, definitely check out Jordan's show, Growcast, if you haven't done that already. I mean, he's been on our show loads of times. He's I don't know, got to be close to 10 times or something now. So if you've listened to this show often, you will know of Jordan River. And if you haven't checked out Growcast yet, you should definitely give it a shot. It's an awesome show. Sorry, just coughing because this Reaper's fucking harsh, man. Jesus. Jareth just said in the chat there, random tangent, aspartame is illegal. Is it illegal? Is aspartame illegal? Is that in Canada?
Aspartame is illegal? No.
No, that's just aspartame. That's just
it's an artificial sweetener.
Yeah, I'm trying. What's the brand name? I can't think of it right off the top of my head.
Kendra.
Equal, wasn't it?
Oh,
have
something
no
like
idea.
that.
Yeah. I think it's equal.
All right. Random. Right, so what do we have next? Because we have a whole list. We have Growcast, and then we have the Brian and Marco show. And these guys don't have a podcast. You can't go and download it from iTunes and things like that. But they have a weekly show over on the Future Cannabis Project YouTube channel. And that is on Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. GMT, 4 p.m. Eastern, and 1 p.m. Pacific. And Brian from the Brian and Marco show was on our show last week. If you listen to those episodes, that's Brian's show. If you go out and check out Brian's show, it's a good show, man. They always have good guests, talk about interesting things. Marco's over there. Marco's been a guest on the show before. He's the guy who grows Full Organics, the grand champion grower in his horizontal beds and shit. Damn,
Nice.
that man knows how to grow. So, they both do a show together. Loads of great information. Loads of great bars, I think they call it over there. So check them out, man. They're live every week. And obviously, you don't need to be there to watch it live, but you can head there now and go and find out loads of their episodes. You just won't see it live, you see it pre-recorded. But good shit, man. Check them out. Have you watched the Brian and Marco show before? I'm sure you've both seen it, right?
I have seen it.
Yeah.
It's funny, I'm not a huge YouTube person.
Right.
Shocking.
Mm-hmm. It's YouTube's one of them, isn't it? If you're at home, then you're watching YouTube, but usually when you're out and about, you don't want to use up all your... And you can't watch YouTube with the screen closed. Like your
I
phone in your
know,
pocket.
that's why, yeah. And I
Yeah.
listen to a ton of podcasts. So once they change that, it would change the game. But
I think you can get that, but you have to pay the premium, right?
right. And I
Yeah.
haven't done that.
Yeah, that's a big down part of YouTube.
Yeah.
If YouTube fixed that, it would get even more views. But, it doesn't do that. So, yeah, that's one of the problems with the just having a YouTube show. You need to be able to have it on the other network so you can download it and stuff. But I just think they don't have time for that. It's a busy process, It takes up a lot of time. But great show. Definitely check out the Brian and Marco show if you haven't seen that one before. Over on the Future Cannabis Project. And that can move on to the next one as well, the Future Cannabis Project, which is, again, is just a YouTube channel. But this is it's like a channel that has lots of different shows that are related to cannabis. London, who's going to be on the show next week, he has the Dank Hour over there. There's Brian and Marco show. Chad Westport, he has a show over on the Future Cannabis
What's
Project.
his show
as well.
called? Does he have more than one?
Chad's got
does.
loads of shows. Yeah, he's
Right,
got
okay.
the Best Grow show.
Yeah,
one.
and
It's like
he just started the comedy show, the weed comedy show, or whatever that's all about. Yeah.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. It's something about weed and jokes or something like that. And it just happened last night, I believe it was.
Oh, they did another
that's
one.
cool.
Okay.
He does like the friendly cannabis show too, I think.
Yep.
Yeah,
that the
that's
other one
right.
he did?
Yeah. And a breeder show as well. Yeah, Chad Westport's got loads of stuff. Got
Yeah,
lots
he's
of
a busy
different
guy.
shows on. Yeah, he's cool. Chad's fucking awesome, man. I didn't put him on
Yeah.
the list though, and he should be on the list. Well, but I forgot. But yeah, definitely check out Chad Westport. He's like our special guest guy. He's a good friend of the show. Been on loads of times for interviews. Been on the panel loads of times. He's a good guy, man, and he makes quality content. So if you haven't checked out Chad's stuff before, definitely do that as well. You can.
I
Find
did
it
put
on the-
another thing in the show notes for one of his things we can talk about after as well, because he
cool,
does
cool.
another podcast too.
Yeah, he's got lots of stuff going on, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So definitely check out. If you just go to YouTube and search for Chad Westport, you'll find his channel and you'll see all of his content over there. Definitely check him out. Nice guy, great content, good guests, great info. It's quality shit, man. You can't complain. And all this content is for free as well, everybody. That's the beauty of the internet nowadays. Go and check all of that out. So what do we have as well? We got after the FCP. Again, the FCP got loads of different shows on, covering lots of different things throughout the week. Just loads of good content over there, so check that out. We have Martin's World next. Now, Martin's been on the show loads of times. Irish cannabis content creator, and he's fighting on the front line to try and get cannabis legalized over there in Ireland. Does loads of good work, man. You see some of his activism videos. You can he covers the cannabis news a couple of times a week now from an Irish perspective. So check that as well. And he's just he works hard for the cannabis community, man. And when you have people working hard in the cannabis community should support those people. So even if you're not from Ireland, still go and check out his channel. Still go and subscribe to his channel, like his videos. The algorithm likes that kind of thing. He gives these channels a boost. So definitely go and check out his channel. He's a good guy, man. He's a good guy. And just trying hard to get cannabis legalized in Ireland. You all know Martin, right?
Oh yeah, I definitely know Martin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, good guy. And he was in court recently as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Martin is an activist of, the first kind, first order. He doesn't just talk about it; he goes and does it. So yeah, if you want to listen to a guy that actually walks the walk, that's the guy you want to talk to.
Yeah, definitely check out Martin. He's definitely on the front line,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good guy. Yeah, and he's been on the show many times as well. So you check out some of the interviews. All of these people have been on the show many times, and we have had interviews with them. So check out those interviews in our back catalogue with these people. And if you like them, then you can go and check out their podcasts. But you can check them out with as a middle step from this podcast to their podcast. The interview, and then go check them out if you like their stuff, man. Yeah, lots of good shit out there on the interwebs. Then we have the High Ladies from Canada.
That's
Everybody
right.
knows the High Ladies, right? We always
Annie
talk
and
about High Ladies,
Amanda. Yes.
they're doing loads of good things. They will be
Yeah,
on the
good
show
things.
soon. Yeah, they're coming up in February.
Breaking the
They'll be on
stigma, trying to break the stigma about cannabis use in parents. So it's a good podcast, very good podcast, and they've actually branched into a little bit other type of activism recently. So by all means, check them out.
Yeah, and as I say, they'll be coming on the show pretty soon. The end of February, I think they're booked in. It's all on there. It's all confirmed and everything, so they'll be on soon. We're gonna catch up and see what they've been up to, and they've been up to a lot, and they've been very busy. What else do we have? Because the High Ladies.
Shane with the Micro channel. Now that's a big one right there. Yeah,
and that's a little bit different. Isn't it? I think he might be taking a step into the podcasting thing recently. I've seen some things, but it's mainly a channel on YouTube that does reviews and information about equipment for growing cannabis, mainly lights.
Yeah.
He started out with lights, but he's done more than that as well.
Yeah, and it's one of those things that, as new growers, you're always concerned about getting the right equipment, the right lights. And we found that Shane, on his channel at least, will review the lights and give you an actual honest opinion on the lights. Even if it's not his, he'll tell you whether it's good or it's bad. He'll tell you if his is good or it's bad too.
That's right.
The same way.
Yeah.
So by all means, if you're looking for information on hardware, check out Shane's YouTube channel, Micro channel.
There's one I don't want to miss there as well. Sorry, Marge.
So that's a great resource.
In honest, you can't complain about that, and it just honest reviews about products, man. So you know what the fuck is going on, and he shows you all the work that he puts into it. It's a real good channel. If you're wondering about should I get this light or this light, head over to Micro, find the video on it because it's probably there. He's done a lot of videos now, and you'll see, man. It's good shit. Just one in the chat there that popped up, which I don't want to miss, but Captain Matt. And the worm people, Captain Matt's fucking so fucking cool, man.
Oh.
Yeah, the
Earth
worm guy.
Worm.
Yeah, he's such
worm
a nice
man.
guy, man. Yeah. If you're interested in worm farming, then definitely go and check out Captain Matt. That guy's so fucking cool. He's some old dude. He's got a boat, sails around the river, got a huge worm farm and shit. He's been on the show a couple of times as well. So go just scroll back through the interviews. If you head over to our website, highonhomegrown.com/interviews. then you'll see the list of all of the people that we've interviewed. You see, and they'll have their picture there and stuff. And there's a link to download from iTunes and Spotify right there on the page as well. So it's really easy to find these interviews. Just head there, scroll through the list. You'll see the right picture of Captain Matt. Click it, download it. Nice and easy. And there's 2 of them. And you can do that with all of these people. If you just head to that page, there's lots of interviews. Easy to find. Nice and easy to see who's who in that as well. So it's a good page. Yeah, just letting you know. But yeah, Captain Matt, man, what a fucking legend. He's such a nice guy. I like Captain Matt. Yeah, who do we have next? We had Micro. Who we had so far? Growcast, Brian and Marco, FCP, Martin's World, the High Ladies, Micro, and then The Simple Life as well. And The Simple's more like from the UK. It's a UK-based podcast. You're involved, I don't know, it's a bit political, involved in UK law and things like that, and guests like that. But he has great guests on his show. So even if you're not from the UK, there's still good content there from Simper if you want to go and check out Simper's channel. Again, Simper has been on the show many times as well, and he works hard, man. He does good things for the cannabis community, and it's difficult to do it in the UK. And he shows his face. He doesn't have a stupid mushroom, not a stupid mushroom avatar, because it's a cool fucking avatar. All right.
It is a
But,
very
you know,
cool avatar, Maggie.
that's right. Thank you, Marge. Thank you. You know, but I don't show my face, but he does. You know, and these guys need to be supported when we can, because it's difficult for these guys on the front line. You know, risking their freedoms to try and get cannabis fucking legalized. He does a good job, man. So if you can, go out there and support Simper over on his YouTube channel. You'll search for The Simple Life. And that's on iTunes and Facebook and all those pages as well. If you want to go find him over there and support him on social networks, that would be cool. And again, he's been on our show. Head over to the interviews page and you'll be able to find him and download the episodes which we spoke to him as well. I think we've been on his show a couple of times as well, haven't we, Monkey?
I know we've been on it at least once, twice. It depends. You know, it's always confusing whether we're on his show or he's on our show when we get together. It's just like, the conversation is pretty much the same no matter what.
Yeah, that's right. All the shows we go on, we just chat, don't we? You know?
Pretty much. We just chat, talk about what we want to talk about. That's it.
Yeah, man. But yeah, good channel, especially if you're in the UK. Check that out because he's articulate with his approach to it. Then we have Mr. Grow It, probably one of the most successful cannabis YouTubers. Man, he has a huge YouTube channel with over 100,000 subscribers now, right?
Oh wow,
loads, and a quick shout out to Mr. Grow It as well. Last time he was on the show, he mentioned that his missus was pregnant. They were going to have a baby and stuff. And the baby's been born now, and shit, he's a dad now. So, you know, I did message him on Instagram when I found out, but, you know, just a quick shout out there to Mr. Grow It. Congratulations and everything, man. It's super awesome. He probably won't listen to this, but, you know, just a shout out anyway. But yeah, good YouTube channel. Again, loads of good guests, lots of good interviews, man. You can go to all of these channels and have great, listen to the awesome interviews and just different takes and different little bits of stories that come out on different shows, then come out on others. You know, it's good stuff, man. Just listening to all these different places people have interviews, like the you know, there's Joe Rogan, and Joe Rogan has all of his little his friends, like Theo, who's made his own podcast now, and Eddie Bravo with his conspiracy show. You know, it's like there's a comedy scene podcast section, and there's like a cannabis scene podcast section as well. You know, it's funny to see, man. The comparison in that way between the two communities. Anyway, Joe who? Yes, this new guy. You know, if he does the UFC commentary, he started a new podcast or something. I don't know. I hope he does well with it. Good luck to him. You know? You basically just listed the head of all the shows I watch and catch lives. Yeah, we try and point out all the good ones. You know, we want you to go out there and have the best of the content. You know, I don't think many cannabis podcasts do talk about other cannabis podcasts like this. Go check out this channel and that channel and this channel and that channel. But we just want everybody to just learn how to grow some fucking weed. You know, whether you learn from us or whether you learn from another channel, it doesn't really make a difference, does it? You go and learn, man. Go and learn. Do your thing.
Pop the beans, man. That's what we want.
Yeah, pop the beans, and check out all these. And the thing with it as well, it's all free content, and that's just the crazy thing. You know, remember back in the 90s, you want to learn stuff, you'd have to buy like cassette tapes,
DVDs, yeah.
Man, cause I used to have a particular hobby. I won't say what it is because it might, just, you know, people would know it was me if I told you what it was, but. But I had this particular hobby, and back in the 90s when I was a kid, to learn each different thing, you'd have to pay 30, 40 quid to send off for a DVD or a book to be sent to you. For every little thing you had to learn, it always cost money, which is cool. You know, school costs money. Education doesn't come for free. But now it's completely different. Everything which I wanted to learn back then is just free and available all over the fucking internet now. It's crazy how things have changed like that. We just have this abundance of quality information, man, and in so many different formats as well. So if there's something that you want to learn, but the person presenting it doesn't quite suit you, you know, you don't vibe, there's another one who's doing the same thing, but you might connect to better. You know, it's just so many awesome ways to go and learn out there. But I'm going on a massive tangent now because I'm further into that wine.
Are you really?
You know. But yeah, some good shout out there, man. Yeah, it sneaks over. That's the thing with wine, isn't it? It's a dry wine as well.
Yeah, I
Mm,
could
very
find
nice.
myself some wine in maybe.
Yeah,
Oh.
put yourself some wine, everybody. Why not? Let's be
Really?
Roman this evening. Let's be Romans.
Let's all drink wine.
Drink
Yeah.
wine. Yeah, from a leather pouch. But yeah,
God, I
so
remember
that's
those things
another
were-
that's another one. And there's been so many suggestions thrown out there in the chat as well, which we'll read out some of those in a little bit as well. So yeah, the High Ladies, Micro, hey, you have to check out Micro for reviews, man. It's an epic one. Mr. Grow It. Then we have Chris Trump. God damn.
Great channel. Great
God damn.
YouTube channel. Fantastic information there.
Mm-hmm. If
I
you're
think
looking
Chris's
at sorry, Monkey.
I said that Chris's mission is to get people off of chemical fertilizer and go back to nature.
Mm-hmm. And you just learn so much over there. There's so much information over on that channel about Korean natural farming and full organics and shit. Damn.
Well, it has definitely changed the way I grow cannabis, but by applying some of the things that Chris has taught me, and I guarantee you I have a frostier, more terpy bud now than I had before. So by all means, if you're interested in improving your grow and maybe trying something a little bit different, get over there and check Chris's stuff out.
Definitely. It's all interesting stuff, man. And again, Chris has been on the show loads of times as well and explained some of the processes which he does in the Korean natural farming. But even when he's on the show, because some of these things are a little bit complex, he likes to refer people to go and check out his channel. So, and there's so many good videos over there as well. There's one where he grows his hair backwards. You know what I mean when you see the video. But yeah, good shit, man. Quality content over on Chris Trump's channel, especially if you're looking into that Korean natural farming thing.
Anything to do with natural farming, Chris has probably got something to do with it there. Yeah, he does a lot of seminars, a lot of on-site stuff as well. So yeah, he's out there trying to educate everyone, not just cannabis growers, any farmer.
Yeah, just a few quick shout out there in the chat. We got Pigeons 420, who is with one of Mr. Grow It's friends. They do From the Stash podcast. That's one you should check out. The podcast. That's another one. The High Ladies, of course.
Well, you got the Cheap Home Grow, the Growing with My Fellow Growers. That follows us pretty much on YouTube.
Yeah.
Right, not too long after we're off.
Yeah.
And then
Pip Jam shouts out a few here. He says, Medical Mondays, Adam Dunn Show, Fumes of Gold, Smart Poker, and Caribou Heart. Yeah, okay. There's a few there. Well, I don't know those ones. Adam Dunn Show I've heard of. I don't know the others. What are you saying, Monkey?
Michigan Bros Grow Show. That's the
right.
Spartan Grown's other show. Yeah.
So, just a few honorable mentions, Who else do we have here? Yeah, Cheap Home Grow, Mr. Grow It, of course. The Weed Report, I don't know that one. There's these new guys as well, and we'll get back to that in a bit. But what them called? The Smoke Report, I think. Adam will know. I was just randomly flicking through Facebook one time, and there's a stream going on, a little cannabis stream, like this, similar to this. Just some guys just chatting shit as we do, and there was nobody watching it. I was like, oh fuck!
Oh, really?
Give these guys
That's a crime.
Yeah, so I jumped in there, and they're cool, man. Just this guy and this lady just getting high and talking about stuff. It's cool. But it's good to support people like that as well. Just because they don't have a lot of views, don't mean that it's not good content. It hasn't been brought across on the YouTube algorithm the same way. It might be really good shit, just not have a lot of views yet because it's a small channel. But things build up over time. So check out those guys. Find out these small channels with a few subscribers and check out their content, and support these guys. Which, and this is something everybody else should be doing as well. But we'll get back to that in a bit because there's one more that we need to mention. Well, we haven't.
Oh, really?
Everybody. And this is one which you should be listening to. You have to listen to High and Homegrown, and also you have to listen to Marge's show. What's your show again, Marge?
Well, be Bite Me, the show about edibles.
That's
so you
the
can
one.
pair your fresh grown cannabis and use it for things other than just smoking.
Oh man,
That's
and you can do so much with it.
Yeah, so you have to go learn edibles from Marge's show. I hope everybody listens to it. That would be super cool.
Yeah, highly recommended.
Yeah, highly recommended. There's lots of different ways to consume cannabis, and
I'd
Marge
say at
shows
least
you lots of ways to do it with loads of different flavors. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say at least 50% of my consumption these days is via edible, so nothing wrong with that.
Hell
I've been
yeah.
thinking about it, man. I've been thinking making myself some gummies, just getting like half ounce of weed, make some
I
gummies.
like I like to dose on the gummies and just go about my day. And then, about an hour and a half, 2 hours later into it, all of a sudden I realize, man, I'm feeling pretty good right now. And I love the way an edible just lets you slide into that high.
Mm,
You don't even know you're there until you're happy.
good shit, man.
Yeah,
Good
that's what I
shit.
like about it. It sneaks up on you.
Gummies
Oh,
ain't
yeah.
difficult, are they? They're easy to make.
Simple.
Yeah, now there's a lot of gummy making kits on the market too that make it even easier. So
Well, I saw somebody at Percy's actually. What they were doing was they were buying commercial gummies, remelting them, and just adding the good
Some
stuff to
more
it.
shit. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, right.
And
Like just buying the gummy bears and then melting them down and just do that. It's
they're
not a bad idea
remolding
at all,
them
is
with
it? Yeah.
cannabis stuff inside of it. You're like,
Oh,
okay, I
that's
guess
not a
that'll
bad idea
work.
because I like it. The fucking going on random tangents. Sorry, everybody, but they're called fruit gums. I think they're called, and like just these sweets made by Roundtrees here. We call them sweets in the UK for those not in the UK. Sweets rather than candy. They're sweets. Just these fruit gums. They're really hard, juicy. I like them, man. Yeah, but my teeth can't handle them as I'm getting older. I've noticed,
Mm.
chewing on these things. Like, okay, I'm afraid that's got to come out. It's like, it's not, but damn, a little bit concerned. It's a lot of sugar, Gosh, but yeah, man, if I could melt that down, if I could take just the red ones, because I love the red ones. The red ones are my favorite. Melt down just the red ones, and then just that's a good idea. Yeah, somebody send me a guide.
Haven't made any weed chocolates in a while. I need to do that.
Yeah, chocolate's good too.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, back to where we were. Yes, Margie's podcast, Bite Me the Show about edibles. Make sure you go and check it out there, everybody. It's a damn good show. Damn good show. Yeah. So again, just a quick shout out there to Chad Westport. Definitely have to go and check out all of Chad's content. He's a legend. Makes good content, man. You have to go and check out Chad. Of course, make sure you check out Growcast as well. You can listen to Growcast. It's on all major podcasting platforms. And make sure you go and download that and check it out if you haven't done it before, because it's a damn good show as well. What else? What other ones, man?
Also, speaking of Chad, he did Dope History.
Yes,
That's right, Tad Hassey. How we forgetting Tad? You see, there's so much content out there. Yeah, the Cannabis Cultivation and Science podcast with Tad Hassey. Damn good show.
Yeah. And then that was like Marge said, the Dope History. That was Tad and Chad both worked on that one together.
For that one. It's really well done too.
Yeah, I really love that series. I wish they would do more of them.
I know. I thought there's talks, isn't there? Yeah. I did speak to Chad recently about that. I think. Yeah.
I think they were planning on doing another season or something, but.
Yeah, great moments in weed history is with David Bean and stuff. Are they still doing that show? Is that still running?
Yeah, it is actually. Yeah,
cool,
he's still running it, but the guy he did it with is no longer on the show because he's doing something else.
Right.
Forget he's mentioned it, but yeah, David's still doing that show.
Sweet, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that one's a good one as well. And lots of people rate that show. Check that one out, everybody. You're just spoiled for choice, really. There's so much out there for you to listen to. And, they all got different takes on how to grow cannabis or how to do different things in cannabis, like Marge's show with the edibles. There's so much to check out, man. So don't be shy. Get around the internet, find out all these different podcasts and YouTube channels that you like.
There is another one in Canada that I like for all you Canucks listening out there, the Cannabis Podcast with Gary Johnson. And he does a lot of reviews of cannabis on the legal market. I mean, he's based out of BC, but that's a good show too.
And of course, High on Homegrown, everybody. Jesus.
How can we forget?
Yeah. No, of course, us. But you're here listening to us, so you already know about us.
Very true.
But what you could do is you could tell a friend about the show. That would be very cool. That helps the show grow, brings in more listeners. That keeps us going. Like Tinkerbell, where you're clapping the hands. Fairies are real. Fairies are real. We just want a few more viewers to keep us going. That's all. Just keep bringing them
Cannabis is real. Cannabis is real.
Yeah, cannabis.
Well, honestly, it does make a difference because I mean, you guys are on YouTube. I'm not sure what it's like on YouTube, but when you have a podcast like mine, for instance, you can say whatever you want. But the problem is often trying to talk about it on social media platforms that you run into trouble because you just can't be open about it. So if you can, word of mouth is the best way to promote a show most of the time. Yeah.
We don't have the same opportunities as many other types of business and content creation. We just can't share this stuff. You get shut down and shadow banned. So we need word of mouth. That's the best way for it to happen, you know. So good shit. Yeah, John Finnegan there is Irish guy. Said Martin Condon is Martin Condon is Ireland's best. Not biased at all there, are you, John? But, but yeah, really, it is Ireland's best, man. You got it. If you're in Ireland and you want a podcast to listen to, I'm sure you already know who Martin is. But if you don't, you have to go and check out his content, man. Quality content, quality. All these guys, you know, they all put this work in to make this content because they enjoy doing it, and it comes across in the content that they make. You know what I mean? You can tell that they enjoy doing it, which in turn makes good content. So go and check it out. And just before we move on to the listener mail questions here, many of you out there might be like, I've always wanted to start my own podcast, but I've never known how. And all this, man, come on, the internet is right there in front of you. The YouTube is right there in front of you. Ask YouTube how to start a podcast, man. Within a couple of hours, you've learned everything you need to know about how to start a podcast. And you can do it for free for the first few episodes in most cases. So if it's something that you're interested in, and like I said, this might have already been done by us, by Growcast, by Martin, by Brian and Marco, by all of these different channels out there on YouTube, but you're going to put your own individual take on it. It's not going to be the same as everybody else's, you know, it's going to be your thing. So if you thought that you would enjoy making a podcast, and that's the important thing, if you think you're going to enjoy doing something like that, then fucking do it. Really, it'll take you a couple of hours to learn it, and you'll get it up and running, and you might really enjoy doing it, man. It might be a new hobby that you enjoy. So don't be shy. If you want to be a cannabis content creator, or even if it's not cannabis content, if it's just another type of content, you know, get it done, man. Have fun doing it. As long as you enjoy it, then make the content, and it will come across to everybody else who will enjoy it, and you'll be making good content. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Am I just high now? I think I'm just high now.
Was it just me that lost your audio there for a second, or was it everybody?
No,
anything?
no, didn't miss
Okay,
it.
must have been just me. My computer's acting up.
Oh no! Let's well, I think that's because there's so many more as well. So if you know of any more, everybody, then drop them in the comments, man. Head down to that comment section and be like, hey, you should check this one out. Make this a big comment list, a resource for people to be able to go and check out different YouTube channels to do with cannabis. So do that. But for now, we'll move on to the listener mail section. Let's do that. There's usually a tune here that plays, so I like to leave a little pause so I can edit it. Yeah, it makes sense if you listen to the downloaded version of the show. I'm just looking for the show notes. There we go. Okay. So from Hashimoto, we have one question, and then we have a few from Roscoe as well, which we'll get to. This is quite a long question. I'll read it out as best as I can. I have a question, and I would like to hear your thoughts. What do you think or know about mutant / gorilla cannabis strains? I recently purchased some Freak Zone seeds, but after further research, it seems there are a whole world of weirdness out there. I was attracted to Freak Zone because of the fern-like leaves, and though it would look nice in my garden borders. Sorry,
I think it was supposed to read.
Yeah.
Thought.
Yeah,
I thought it would look at these. Yeah.
I should really spell check these and stuff.
Yeah,
Well. You know, like figuring it out on the go is a little bit difficult. Yeah, fern-like leaves, and thought it would look nice in my garden borders. Do you know how they grow? There was feral Australian landrace that looks like parsley. Is that the Australian bastard cannabis?
I think it is.
Yeah, and made me think of our own feral Australian bubble hawk. You know. Shout out there to Bubble Hawk, everybody.
Bubble Hawk.
Yeah.
They're calling it feral.
So yeah, I like these random strains that don't look like cannabis. And one time, and I don't know whether it was because of a nutrient deficiency or genetics or anything, I grew this one plant. Oh man, I wish I had pictures of it. But it was at that stage of growing where you're ashamed of bad plants. You don't want to show them to anybody, so you don't take any pictures. But this plant was weird as fuck, and the buds on it were like peas. like loads of little
Huh.
peas, like berries rather than buds, man. It was really weird, but it was so fucking strong. This must have been over 30% THC. It was so pungent, so fucking stinky. It was weird as fuck, and I wish I could grow it again. But fuck knows what it was. I don't know whether it was a mutation or because I fed it wrong or whatever. Fuck knows what happened to it. It was weird, but it was a cool plant, man. Damn. Yeah, so I like these random fucking freak show strains. What this the Frisian duck from
Yep,
Pasture as
Frisian
well.
dew, Frisian
Yeah.
duck, all those
Mhm.
the other 3-foot, 3-fingered cannabis thing.
I've seen
Yeah.
pictures of some of those and they do look like really different, but do they grow the same way as regular cannabis or are there,
Yeah, mostly.
Yeah, just
you
like
don't really need to change
flip them to
anything.
flower at 12/12 and things like that. It's just the same, just the leaves look a little bit different. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
It's cool as fuck, man. And people know that cannabis leaf. You know, it's like a brand of itself. You know, people know what cannabis leaf is, and when
You
the
would
leaves
think
change on the
that.
plant,
You would think that, but I mean, I've found that if you take regular people who have never ever seen cannabis up close, nothing more than maybe dried bagged cannabis kind of thing like that, you could show them a cannabis plant and they would not have a clue.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
just
Sometimes it's easy to get into echo chamber,
surprisingly,
isn't it?
Yeah.
it's a very surprisingly to see how many people go on these grow tours and have never actually seen a cannabis plant before in their life.
Yeah, that's a thought. I remember the first time I went to Amsterdam and I went to the cannabis museum and they had live cannabis plants in there, and that's the first time I ever seen one. That was cool as fuck.
And it doesn't look like the same fake ones that they put in the movies, does it?
It's weird, isn't it? And now they're just these normal things that we just live around now.
Yeah.
You're fucking
I
hell.
was repotting some yesterday and I'm sitting out there. I had 4 cannabis plants out on the deck in my backyard thinking like, this is weird. Okay.
Yeah, man, definitely check them out, everybody. If you haven't seen those strains yet, and they produce the same yield and stuff. It's not like you get less. You know, it's the same kind of buds which you get from these plants. So yeah, take a look at them, and if you're interested in growing them, fucking grow a
It'd be
few.
fun to find out.
Yeah, you start a grow diary over on Percy's. Show us how the grow goes, man. And especially in the northern hemisphere now, winter is just kicking in, really. But you know the season is approaching now. We're on the way out of winter, so we heading into spring pretty soon, a couple of months away. So start planning your gorilla grow, and maybe if you got a couple of these strains that are a bit differently shaped to the usual cannabis plants that people are used to, they won't be so noticeable. You can do a couple of gorilla grows with these or something, you know, or even grow them in your back garden because they don't look like cannabis. Give that a shot, man. If you want to, of course. Or you can grow them indoors too. I don't know. I've never done it, but you know, it's not like I wouldn't. You know what I mean?
Right.
Good shit. Right. So I hope that answers your question there. Yeah. Do you know how they grow that? Yeah, like we said there, just like a cannabis plant does. You know, if it's an auto, then it will auto. If it's not an auto, then you have to flip it to flower. Same kind of shit. You know, top it, train it, same thing. It's cannabis plant. Right, so we have a few questions here from Rusco. I think it's Rusco anyways. RU25CO. So it looks like just Rusco. No, that's not how I pronounce it. So the first question is, I usually plant my seedlings straight into their final pot to avoid stress when they are a bit bigger. Would you be using the full final grow light, or would you use an immediatary light that doesn't draw as much power until they hit veg, or do you just dim the big light? Yeah, it's a good question. Yeah, I mean, there was a series of good questions here from Rusco, man. This is some good questions. We appreciate it. It's a nice one, man. But Monkey, what do you think about this one?
Depends. I mean, it's going to depend on what you have. I mean, I fully understand about using a smaller light when you're germinating seeds to save electricity. I have done that and I do it on occasion. But I mean, I generally, if I'm going to have a tent full of seedlings, I just use my big light and dim it. It's just easier, you know, one of those things. But I do have smaller lights. But if I'm going to use a smaller light, I'm usually germinating in a solo cup and in my germination station and not in my tent. So to answer your question, in a tent, I'm using my big light most of the time.
It seems like it would be a bit of a pain to switch out the light in your tent too.
It
Like,
is.
more sense to just dim the big light.
Yeah.
I do it though
That's
because I use two different lights right now. I use a Mars Hydro TS2000, I think it is TSW 2000, and then I also have an Invisible Sun ish 530, which is it uses the LM301. It's a beast of a light. It's a fucking beautiful light. So what I would usually do is I'd use the Mars Hydro for the first 3-4 weeks just to get the wait until the plant's well rooted and wait until it's in its final part, just because it doesn't cover as much floor space. There's a lot of wasted light that's just going to bounce off the floors while the plants are that young. So I just use the smaller light. I can get it closer to the plants, and then it can get all the light it needs. But once it starts to reach outside of that light, like 3 or 4 weeks in, then I'll change to the big one. And I'll do a clean then as well. You take the plants out, because don't fucking change the light with the plants in the tent, everybody. Nobody ever intends to drop their light on their plants. Nobody ever intends, I'm going to do that today. It always happens by accident. So if you're there thinking, it's all right, I ain't going to drop it. That's what everybody thought before they dropped their light on their plants. Just take the fucking plants out of the tent and change the light. That's how I do it. And then that will run for the rest of the veg into flower at full blast. I don't dim lights, just raise it up or down if needed.
Well, I used to change lights when I was running the Mars lights. Was running the SP series, and they were lighter, so they were easier to handle. But when I switched to the HLG lights, they're significantly heavier and better made, and they're a lot more trouble to change. So, like Mars says, they're just too much trouble to change the HLG, so they stay where they are.
Yeah.
But if I have another tent, if HLGs are in 2 of my tents, the other tent's a drying tent. So in that tent, I do have some Mars lights that I'll sometimes put in that tent for seedlings. But I'd rather just use what's in there as my answer still.
Sweet. What you say, Marge? What do you do?
Well, I haven't grown anything large in a while. So I do usually put the seedlings right into whatever they're going to end up in. That's what we're still talking about, right?
Yeah.
And like I said, I wouldn't switch out the lights myself. I would just dim the big light. It seems more efficient to me, but
anyway, it would work. It's like as long as the plant's getting light, give it light. It's more like being about energy efficient that I change it. If it wasn't about the price of energy and shit, then I'd just keep it what it is and just raise it a little bit higher. The plants will get used to it and they'll be like, oh yeah, this is a great amount of light. This is perfect. Don't shock it, changing it, giving it a little bit of light, and then power. Now you're receiving this. Like fucking hell, that's a bit bright, mate. So you can keep it there if you want to. It depends on your grow, doesn't it? Depends on each individual person. Like we say a lot with this whole growing cannabis thing. Yeah, I changed mine over. People as well, remember back in the day when people used to use the HID lights, and they would say in a meter grow tent, or let's say 4 foot by 4 foot, as most people use nowadays. They would use a 400 watt metal halide bulb for the veg, and then go to a 600 watt HPS, so more power during flowering and shit. So the light would get changed to induce more power like that. And I think that's similar to what most people would do, right? Use a weaker light. Do some people use CFLs like on seedlings for a couple of weeks? And some people do that.
I have.
Right? And fluorescence and stuff.
Yeah, I've done that.
Yep. I just decided to buy. I went and bought some seedling lights. It's just like tired of making do with this, that, and the other thing, and I've saved enough money on cannabis that by growing my own that I could afford to go buy seedling lights now. So buy the good stuff. Put more money back into the grow.
And just a couple more things to add there for Rusko. He said he puts them in the final part to avoid stress. It's not really necessary to do that. You stress the plant if you break the roots, and with a little bit of practice with transplanting, that shouldn't happen. It's an easy process. The plant won't get too stressed at all when the transplant is done properly, man. You only really plant it in the final part if you're going into living soil or super soil, and maybe you'll start it off a little bit first for like a week, and then you'll plant it, because otherwise it might be too much shock for the roots of the plant. These living soils and super soils got loads of nutrients in there, and it can shock the young plants. So maybe do it in cocoa first, then transplant into final part then. But in any other circumstance, just small part, middle part, and then final part. That you'll do fine, man. You won't stress the plant too much by transplanting it. Do you transplant your plants, Monkey?
all the
Yeah, you
time,
just said you were doing
constantly.
it outside on the deck and you transplanting your plants.
Yep. I was going from solo cups to vinyl pots in that situation. Usually do it at least once. Almost always start my plants in something solo cup size or smaller. Sometimes I'll go up to a 1 gallon and then into a 3 or a 5, but usually it's just a one step.
It's
But
just good for
never
them
had any
roots to get
problem.
air, you know. And if you put too much medium around them, they can't get the air so much. So
When the roots are completely fill that solo cup, you know how any type of a plant, you know, when you're first starting to grow the cannabis plants, it seems like when they first germinate, they just sit there for a week or so. They don't really do much because the only thing that's happening is the roots are growing.
that's right.
But with a solo cup, those roots can fill up that cup pretty quickly, and then it will signal the plant to start growing the canopy faster. So that's why I actually prefer to start in a solo cup, because you'll end up getting a little bit faster canopy growth after those roots fill that cup. So it works for me pretty much. I mean, you can look at my 12-12 grow, you can see the size of the plants really good compared to starting in the final pot.
Yeah, man. It's a good question. Like I said, there's lots of little bits in there. It's a good question, and it's one of the things that I used to get wrong back in the day. I think I've killed the most seeds by planting them into soil that was too strong for them. You know, no, it's I remember it specifically. I killed like 10, 10 fucking seeds, just dead because I put them in soil that was too strong. So now I just think it's good for to go through doing cocoa or something first before you plant into the soil like that, if you want to play that game. But anyway, yeah, that's a different tangent. All right, so we'll move on to question 2 here from Roscoe as well. Here's another interesting one. I read that cooling your decarbed flour down in the freezer before you infuse it helps to preserve phytonutrients. This is something that anyone has any is this something that anyone has any experience with or something anyone does? Marge, I think this is your kind of thing, right?
Yeah, I actually haven't heard that before until I saw this question. It's not something that I do.
So what's the phytonutrients? They're good.
Terpenes.
Okay.
I just Googled it. The phytonutrients refer to substances that the plant uses to fight things like bugs and disease, things like that.
Okay.
So that would be our terpenes and flavonoids.
Yeah, I find that by the time you've decarbed and infused and then baked or cooked with it, you're not preserving any phytonutrients anyway, really.
I don't know. Now I'm going to take a little bit different approach to that because I just got this not for around Christmas time. I just got the Ardent FX, and I find that thing really does preserve a lot of the terpenes in the decarbed weed. If you let it cool down completely till it gets completely cold and open it up, I can still smell the terpenes in it. And then when I infuse my oil in that, I can taste the terpenes in the oil. So I think that there is something, but I've never ever stuck my flour that's been decarbed in the freezer. I just let it come down to room temperature.
Yeah, I don't think the freezer would be necessary.
Now I
Yeah,
do.
you're not taking the lid off of it because there is moisture in there in the Ardent after the decarb, right?
Yeah, there's a little bit of usually a little water around the top edge, and you pick that up. But I can definitely smell some terpenes in it when it's done.
Right. Yeah.
But I have a friend that used to use a sous vide bag to decarb in, and he always put the sous vide bag in a refrigerator when he was done to recondense the terpenes. And he swore that it made his infusions stronger. So it may or may not.
Sometimes I think you're splitting hairs at that point too.
Maybe
a little bit. Like the difference is there might be some
effect,
but it's gonna be a little. It's not going to be like a massive difference.
I put all this extra effort in. Look how much it mashed me.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Ardent though, because you said you just got the Ardent recently.
Got it for around Christmas time, the Ardent.
Right. And I have one of those too, and I really like it. But I also learned recently that because you have a Levo
Yes.
as well, they came out with a Megapod or something.
I did not like the idea of that.
Oh, you didn't, eh? Because I know a couple of people that have gotten one and they really like it. They like it a lot better because it holds way more plant material.
Yeah, it was still below the threshold of what I was looking for. It allows you to hold up to 28 grams of material, and as I said earlier, I'm usually infusing 40 at a time. So it just didn't make it. And the Ardent gave me the flexibility to do anything I want to. It's just it's such a blank slate, and it's a simple machine that works really well.
Yeah, no, I really like my Ardent too. But for those who already have a Levo and they want to be able to like maximize the use of it, that
Mhm.
might be the solutions if you already have one.
Yeah, I would just basically take the pods out completely and just throw the weed straight into the oil and do it that way. And it would be
And
okay. It would
did
do
it
the
work?
job. It
How would it work
worked
when you had to strain it? Like when you had
uh poorly.
to,
Uh
okay.
you kind of fish it out the best you can. You get it to drain, and then you've got to strain it after that because you do have some kind of, solids in it because you're missing that ability.
I suppose
So
you could put like a sieve or something over the
yeah,
cup or whatever you're pouring it into or draining it into.
I would usually pour it through a sieve, and then I would let the material sit in a measuring cup or something, let the fines settle in and pour off the top.
Yeah.
And I still find that that's the easiest way to do it is to let the fines settle and just pour off the nice clear liquid right off the top of it.
Right. Yeah.
I'm learning slowly, Marge, by experimentation, a little at a
Experimenting
time.
is fun. That's when you get to wear the mad
Trial
scientist
and
hat.
error. Yeah,
I
man.
get to
Try
eat my
different shit
mistakes
out.
too. Yeah.
That's right. You fuck around and find out and
I did
You know,
make some of those. Now they were pretty strong. It's like two of those and I was going to bed.
right.
Jesus. Wake up the next day and be like, whoa,
No, I had
one
a
next time. One.
dang good night's sleep, man. It's like take two of those and then 30 minutes later, you better be in bed. Boom.
Nice. Right, so we have one more here from Roscoe. He asks, coming off the back of a previous grow guide, can you mainline autos or is it too much stress on the plant? Yeah,
What
I
do you
would
think,
say,
Mackie?
yeah, I would say, fuck yeah, fuck yeah. It's a cannabis plant, man. As long as you get it done early, as soon as you can, don't mess around. You can mainline a an auto. It's a cannabis plant.
Done it. Yeah,
Do it.
I've done it
It's very
dozens of
resilient,
times.
to be
Everything I
honest.
grow gets mainlined, you
What
know?
do you say, Marge?
I just said they're super resilient.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You really gotta try hard to
Now,
fuck it.
I'll go with a couple of caveats on the statement there, though. I have had two times where the plant did not like me mainlining it, where it just freaked out and grew into kind of some weird looking shape. But it was only two out of, let's say, maybe 3 dozen. And I don't know if that was just that plant. I don't know if it was me doing something at the wrong time. But usually an auto, I'd like to have everything finished, all the pruning and cutting done by day 25 after
Yeah.
germination. So you
Mhm,
gotta
mhm.
be fast.
Yeah. That's it. No fucking around. You see that third
No,
node pop up, you're cutting it. You're gonna
exactly.
move straight away.
It's like, okay, 5 nodes, I'm cutting it the third today. It's like, bam, okay, so the second one comes out, I'm cutting the net. You sometimes you're having to do the toppings on almost on a micro scale in order to accomplish it within 25 days. But you can do it. I do it all the time. And matter of fact, actually, I recommend a modified mainline a little bit to where you're using nodes 2 and 3 on autos because it's one clip less. You have that one topping less, and that can really make a difference. And the yield was almost identical by using nodes 2 and 3. And if you want to see anything about that, come over to Percy's. We have diaries. People are doing it like crazy over there. So if you're curious about how to top your autos, come over to Percy's. We'll show
That's
you.
right. PercysGrowRoom.com. Go.
Exactly, man. Yeah, auto is nothing more than a cannabis plant. That's what Mackie said a long time ago, and it's darn true. It's just a cannabis plant.
Yeah.
Be
Treat it like a
kind to
cannabis
it.
plant, man.
Treat it like a cannabis plant. Be kind to it, and it'll yield good for you. I mean, come on, Bubble Hawk grows 1 pounders.
Fucking crazy,
Yeah,
man. Crazy.
yeah,
The
good
things
stuff.
I'd be scared of spiders living in it and stuff, But we have one from Groucher here, which is a good question, man. A little bit controversial, I
so bad.
suppose.
Uh-oh.
Making FICO, can you use any ISO or does it have to be good grade? It really has to be the good grade, 99.9% fucking isopropyl alcohol. So there's very few contaminants in it, but preferably when you're making FICO, you want to be using ethanol. And it's not what the grain alcohol. What's it called again?
It's ethanol, but I
It is
mean, you're
ethanol,
talking about
okay.
something like Everclear or something like
Yeah,
that.
Everclear, yeah.
That's just one brand name. Sometimes it's called diesel, sometimes it's Everclear, but it's 190 proof drinkable alcohol.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
And
can't buy that in Canada.
Can't you really?
Yeah.
You can get it in
No.
the UK, but it's like £80 for a litre. It's a ridiculous amount of
It
money.
depends on which state you're in as to how expensive it is. Down here in the deep south, it's probably like $17, $18 US for a standard size, 1/5 bottle, 750 milliliters.
It's a great
So
set
it's
of
relatively cheap here. But I mean, Bubble Hawk says that like a gallon of that would cost him like $60 or $80 or something
yeah,
like that.
yeah.
So it can be pretty high, pretty expensive some places.
Mm. And we had a couple of comments there in the chat. Cloud said not isopropyl, it's toxic. And this is why I said it's a bit controversial, because some people say that it's toxic, some people say that it's fine. You know, you can get the food grade, so it's fine, and it's just you always want to err on the side of caution with this kind of thing. And that's what I say. The best thing for you to do if you want to make if you want to make FICO, sorry, is to get some Everclear. It's very expensive, but it takes all of those kinds of concerns out of your mind. Then, you know, and if you get the right thing, you can recycle alcohol and shit. Like Bubble Hawk has one where the
Yep.
alcohol evaporates and then distills again. I think he's got one of those. So you
Yeah,
save
there's a
money
lot
that
of people.
way, maybe.
A lot of people around Percy's here have started using these portable distillers to reclaim the alcohol out of the FICO. And you can get usually anywhere between 60% and 95% reclaim on it if you do it right. So it depends how you have it set up and what machine you're using. So if you're interested in learning it, again, Percy's Grow Room will teach you how.
It's expensive, but I've made FICO before, and I have used well, I say FICO, I've made RSO, and they're essentially the same thing. And I think the difference between FICO and RSO is made with ISO, and FICO is made with Everclear. Is that right? I think that's the difference, right?
Crickets.
Sorry?
What'd you say?
I'm not exactly sure.
Oh, you don't know what? Did you hear me? Did I break up or something?
No.
Oh,
I was looking for clarification.
yeah. I was looking for clarification. I was like, is that right? I think that's right. I think FICO is the full extract cannabis oil that's made with a grain alcohol like ethanol, which is Everclear,
Oh, I
expensive
see.
shit. And RSO, Rick Simpson oil, is made with it is the same thing pretty much, but you use an ISO instead of Everclear. I think I might be misunderstanding there.
But the process to make them both is pretty well the same, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much. You just soak it. This is a whole process. Have we done a grow guides on this? Sorry. Yeah,
It
yeah.
says, okay.
We've done a grow guides on this, right?
Yeah, just doing the Googling on it. It says Rick Simpson oil typically uses naphtha. Now, I'm not really sure
naphtha,
about
like the
that.
lighter fuel.
That's what it says.
Wow.
It says and produced at a higher temperature and traditionally utilizes either alcohol or naphtha as a solvent, with high temperatures being used to boil off the solvent.
Right.
Many of the plant terpenes are lost in this process. However, RSO does typically regain a greater amount of chlorophyll and less evaporative plant compounds. Okay, this can result in an end product with very high levels of cannabinoids.
Yeah. Yeah. So there you go. But was it Grouchy? Was it you, Grouchy, who asked the question? Yeah, making FICO can
Yeah,
use
I think
ISO.
it was.
Yeah. So there you go. I hope that answers your question, mate.
Yeah, FICO is either ethanol or a CO2 as a solvent.
But I have made RSO / FICO with isopropyl alcohol, 100% isopropyl. You know, but pretty much they just can't put 100%, so they put 99.9%. You know, food grade quality stuff, man. And I ain't dead yet, bro. You know? So check it out. I know Billy makes his own as well. I'm not sure how Billy does it. I know Billy Barnes. I don't think he's in the chat. He might have gone to bed now. He's a bit late. But
And
you know,
guys
again, sorry, Marge.
guides over. You guys have guides over on Percy's about this?
Yeah, on how to make ISO. Yeah.
Right.
Sorry, how to make RSO.
I did a podcast with TG on that because that's what he pretty much does for a living.
Yeah.
Is make distillate and stuff, but yeah.
Yes,
I'll make him on RSO.
And that's over on the Bite Me show.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Sweet.
It seems more intimidating than it is. I mean, I guess you have to kind of be careful to get all the alcohol out when you're cooking it off.
Yeah, and
that's
purge it properly. Shit.
That part is important, but yeah.
Yeah. Easy to do. Check it out. And there's guides over on Percys. You can ask for help over on Percys as well. You know, so don't rush into anything. If you're unsure of anything, make sure you just come and ask some questions until you're happy with what you have to do.
But definitely worth trying because it's pretty expensive to buy from what I understand. And obviously if you have plant material, it's like very inexpensive to make.
Yeah. Yeah, just make some hash, man. Just make some hash. But yeah, I think that answers all the questions there. We don't have any more. I think that's everything. Is there anything else to add here? We good? I think
Good.
that's everything, right? Yeah. If you do have any questions, everybody, then get over to percysgrowroom.com and ask. We'll see you over there. Let's go to the outro. Supercropper said their extracts looks and sounds complicated. It really isn't, mate. It's very simple. Once you learn the basics, it's very easy to make all different kinds of extracts, man. So don't be shy. You know, if it looks and sounds complicated, there's that old saying, right? Where whether you think you can or whether you think you can't, you're probably right. So, so if you think you can't make extracts because it's complicated, then you're not going to be able to make extracts because it's complicated. But if you think you can make extracts, then you're going to make some fucking extracts, man. And you're going to enjoy them and you're going to have a good time. So, make some fucking extracts.
First one you want to play with is hash. It's very simple. Just bubble hash. Learn it.
That's right, man. And then some butter. Some butter you can make out of the buds and shit. Yeah. It's easy to do. And then some RSO. It is really easy. So, don't be shy. If you want to try it, mate, just fucking do it. But there we go for this week. That was the grow guides. And some good list of mail questions as well. Thanks for that, man. So go and check out some of those channels that we recommended. And next week we're going to talk about some interviews that you should check out that we've done in the past. We're going to look for our whole catalogue. And for any listeners who haven't gone out and listened to the interviews yet, there might be some hidden gems that you don't even know about, but you haven't checked out yet. So we're going to talk about which ones we recommend you check out. Sorry, Monkey.
I'm just thinking there's one channel we never even mentioned because unfortunately the man's no longer with us. But by all means, it's a resource you need to know about, and that's Frenchy Cannoli.
Yeah, that's right for sure. Yeah, I'll have to add that to the end.
By all means, but because Frenchy can teach you how to make the good stuff, really good hash.
And they're super into spreading the word of making hash to as many people as possible for nothing, for free too, because they've subtitled a lot of those too in a bunch of different languages.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
What a legend. Yeah, definitely check out that channel as well if you want to make some hash. Or if you just want to know more about cannabis, check out Frenchy, man. That's some good shit. What else do we have to say here? I think that's just about everything, except if you're not signed up to Percy's yet, go and sign up. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Yeah, but that's it. It's been a good show. It's been a damn good show. Still not Bubble, man. I kind of miss Bubble Hawk nowadays. It'd be nice to get him on the show sometime.
He was the fuck around and find out panel number.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a fact.
Yeah. I'm sure we'll be back soon, everybody. We'll be back soon. We got them interviews going on throughout the week as well. We've got Jesse on Tuesday and London on Thursday. So if you're a Patreon, check out those and join us for the session on Friday as well. It's gonna be a good time. It's gonna be join us there. We're gonna talk about aliens and stuff. Maybe I don't know. We talk about random shit.
Aliens.
Yeah, it's gonna be aliens this week. But yeah, that's everything. Let me put this 15-minute intro music on here. All professional like. Yeah, nice professional intros today as well, everybody. Yeah, well done. Well done. Professional. Everybody likes a professional intro and outro.
I think they like them better with, regular.
With some character.
Yes, exactly. Right. That's a good way to put it, with character.
Yes, with some character. Yeah. So there we go. That's the music. We'll catch you on either Tuesday or Thursday or Friday or on Sunday again for another show where we talk about what interviews you need to check out throughout our whole catalogue. Very cool. Right, nice then. Should we say goodbye? Should we just wave?
Yes.
Goodbye?
We're doing it now.
So, goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Goodbye. Have a good week. People. Goodbye. Stay high. And all that.
Stay safe. All that.
I'm clicking the button.
Again. Damn.
Say thank you, Mad Dog.